Gavin Newsom's interview on NBC was one of the most unreal political theater performances we've seen in a while. The thing is, NBC actually pressured him this time. They didn't treat him like the golden boy of the Democratic Party. They challenged him. They pushed him on Biden, on California, and exposed the political games he likes to play. And that right there is when the mask started to slip. Welcome back, and if you're new, this is going to be a good one, so make sure you like, comment, and consider subscribing for daily news updates. It means the world to me, and don't forget to share. The reporter pressed him on Joe Biden, not just on policy, but also on the very real concern of Biden's mental decline, which is something that millions of Americans witnessed in real time. And instead of acknowledging the concern, or even showing basic understanding for why people are uneasy, Newsom went into full far-left delusion mode. Watch this.
I think it's fair to say that anyone who decides to run in 2028, including former President Biden's surrogates, are going to have to answer questions about what they did and what they said in 2024 around President Biden's presidency. You stood by him till the end after that disastrous debate performance, even when top Democrats were calling for him to step down. Did you ever have concerns, Governor, about his capacity
I go home
to
with
serve another 4 years?
No, I never had that direct. I just talked to the president a few hours ago. I've been privileged to have a relationship with the president. I spent almost 2 hours with him in December, right before, during the transition in the Oval Office. And my experience, his expression, gave me no pause, no doubt. Let me finish. I was proud to stand there, proud to make the case for 15.4 million jobs, proud to make the case for the CHIPS and Science Act, the industrial policy that was worker-centered, proud to make the case for an infrastructure package that actually delivered a real bill and is delivering real jobs all across this country. Proud to stand tall as he was a counter-prevailing point to President Xi and what they're doing in low-carbon green growth and how they're going to dominate the future as it relates to green energy. And he was a counter-prevailing point. I was proud of the fact that he supported 400 bipartisan bills. It did more for vets and has started to address the issue of gun violence. I was proud of that legislative package of accomplishments. The one exception as it relates to the interaction I had with him.
In that clip, Newsom is asked a question. Are we going to acknowledge and answer people's worry about the cognitive decline of Biden? And what does he do? He just starts talking. He starts mentioning all the things Biden has done, different bills and policies, and how he was proud to be there with him and see everything happen, and that Biden is just great for the things he's done. Those can all be true, but that is not what was asked. And to him, he used it as a space to show recognition, I guess, but he did not answer the question. In a part, he says, yes, they did handle it behind the scenes with humility and grace. If it's handled, you should be able to tell the American people who are seeing it, are witnessing it. We are the ones who think it can have an effect. So at least come out with a statement acknowledging it, because we all saw that it's there. And there's nothing wrong with it happening. President Biden, he's getting up there in age. He's been doing this a long time. It's okay if that is happening. You don't have to act like it's just not happening at all, because that's not how real life works. The main reason reporters are still asking about it is because there's been no answer. When the interviewer asked about the government shutdown, the frozen paychecks, the families struggling, the workers left hanging, Newsom didn't show any concern. He didn't call it unfortunate. He didn't even acknowledge that it was a hardship. And that right there, it's utterly ridiculous. Where's the compassion that you say you have for people? The compassion that you do need to even be a president. Take a look at this.
Washington believe they have found a winning issue in their battle over health care. The government shutdown, now the second longest in U.S. history. Democrats essentially saying any bill to reopen the government has to include an extension of healthcare subsidies, which are set to expire at the end of the year. Do you believe Democrats have picked the right fight?
Well, I'd say you're welcome to America. I mean, rural and red states that are disproportionately the beneficiaries of the Democrat stance. We're fighting for the people that voted not just for our party and our values and principles, but voted for Donald Trump and his party. We have their back. Donald Trump has betrayed them. He's turned their back. The Republicans in Congress have turned their back. So absolutely, your question, absolutely it's the right issue because it breaks through at a time of great economic anxiety. The idea that you're going to face a 1 to 3+100% increase in your premiums in a matter of months is the issue that defines more issues in more ways on more days for more Americans. So it's absolutely the right call.
And yet federal workers are suffering. The lines are getting longer outside of food banks. Some 5 million Californians stand to potentially lose food assistance.
Yeah.
What do you say to those 5 million Californians who are afraid their families are going to go hungry and they want Democrats to get together with Republicans and reopen the government?
I think it's a disgrace. The USDA has never done this in the past. They said they have a contingency fund for precisely this moment. They said just a few days ago on November 30th, rather September 30th.
When asked the question, Newsom does seem very disconnected from it. He goes on to say that if Donald Trump and his administration just do it and give people what they need for healthcare instead of increasing the premiums, then everything will be fine. He even goes on to say that that's the whole point, to have negotiations, and sometimes you have to do something that you don't want to do. And that's what he wants Trump and his administration to do. She even asked him another very important question. At the end of the day, when all this is over and done, who do you think people, American citizens, are going to blame? Republicans or Democrats? And he goes on to say, there's no one to blame. Neither on either side is to blame. I don't think all of the families suffering would agree with that. They're going to find someone to blame, and I'm pretty sure we all know who they might blame the way it's looking. Yes, people do care about healthcare premiums. They care about all of that. But people also care about the right now, what they're actually going through in the moment. Right now, they're thinking about what they're putting on dinner for their children. They're thinking about going to work and not getting paid. So how are they going to keep their lights on? It's about to be wintertime. It's cold. People need somewhere to be where they're safe. People need money. They need SNAP benefits. They need to make sure that their families are eating and being taken care of. So overall, all of his energy and answers said basically he agrees with the shutdown and he needs it to happen. He's okay with it happening right now. And if it has to happen for it to work, then so be it. Even in his answer, he admits it was the right call. This is the call that made most sense to them, so they did it. But the problem there for me is that where's the solution? It's not seeming like it was the right call to the people who are suffering. I don't want to be a person who has to get everything else ripped away from me to get one thing. And that is what is happening for a lot of Americans. Okay, we want healthcare, but the only way we can get that is if you take away our money and our food. Who's going to want a government that behaves like that? So knowing his mindset on this, it just shows you that they don't really have a plan set in stone. You can't say it was the plan of negotiation because that's not working. President Trump is not going to budge on that. And I guess they won't budge either. But that's not building any solutions. We're at a standstill. Lastly, I want to look at this clip of Newsom trying to downplay the peace deal that Trump signed with China. And he just ends up talking in circles. Watch this.
China. Do you think President Trump would actually use a nuclear weapon?
He doesn't even know. He said the Pentagon should do it. Wake up, Mr. President. I know he may have jet lag. It's the Department of Energy. He doesn't even know which agency is responsible for that. He may want to learn about computational capacity, the Department of Energy, to test this technology. And may want to look back in the record books, to your point, 1992, since the last time we did. Look, this is weakness masquerading in strength. This is classic Trump and Trumpism. This guy is historically weak. And these are acts of a weak person that is trying to appear strong. It has the form and substance of fog. You even heard representatives of the Trump administration tried to digest and explain this, and they couldn't even do it. So, look, I was embarrassed. I was humiliated. Watching the President of the United States in front of Xi, we're good. I mean, he was negotiating away this country in the first 5 minutes of the photo op. He came back with nothing. He got played by President Xi.
He says he got a good deal.
He said that. How many trade deals? 90 in 90 days? How many have you read and reviewed? How many have been signed? 0. His policy is press release. And the fact that you and I will be paying more for toys this Christmas, and we're already paying more for Halloween, bears truth to my assertion of the recklessness of his policies. He's wrecking this country. The jobs market is weak. Inflation is starting to creep back up. This is unprecedented to see.
Newsom basically says that the deal that Trump got, it's no deal at all. He really is just letting China run them. If you look at it from a different perspective, China has ran things in America for way too long. And at least now, President Trump is trying to stand for something. He's trying to do something that doesn't just give all the power to China. So if certain deals need to be in place and negotiations need to happen, let them happen. Because before, nothing was happening. America was like a puppy dog to China. That's changing now. Even if it has to move slowly, it's still something happening that wasn't happening under Biden's administration. Even just seeing both of the presidents in the same room, shaking hands, that is a huge step for all of us. It shows that, okay, this is real. Some things are finally moving around. They're changing. Trump is doing something, and it is showing that it might be working. So it seems like Gavin Newsom, he's downplaying a deal, but it's a deal that he couldn't get. It's a deal that the Democratic Party and presidency weren't able to attain. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time on KW Lawholic.